Hey there, how's it going? We're just getting started here. All right. Hey, me, how's it going? Okay, looks like we're connected all up, and I just need to share. You know the routine. Maybe, if it shows up. Where are you? I don't know where it went on Pixologic. Come on. I can't find it. Hello, hello. Welcome to the stream. Having a hard time. Oh, there it is. Okay. Oh, there. Of course, I hit refresh just as it shows up. Okay. Dun, 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 dun. Why can I share it? Oh, there it goes. Okay. Share. Thanks for your patience. Sorry this takes a minute and Facebook is being slow. Share to my page. Okay, all done. There we go. Rock and roll. How's everybody doing today? You guys doing well? On this Monday? Question I have TIFF alphas. Can they be used in ZBrush? I have never used a TIFF. I would suggest converting it over to a PNG or a JPEG. I think it does read in PSD files, but I'm not sure about TIFF. I'm not quite sure. So, hello Martin, how are you? Thank you. So, yeah, and with ZBrush, 100% black is alpha. So, as long as you have 100% black in your PNG or your JPEG or whatever, it will. That's how I did this dragon. That's how I knocked the back of it out. Is I just made it 100% black, and then I turned up the pencil drawing so it wasn't 100% black because I didn't want the drawing to go away. So, and you can just do that in Photoshop with levels. Just adjust the levels, and then I just kind of selected him with a lasso and deleted the background out. Hey, what's up, Chris? Hello, everyone. Hey, Neil. Okay, here we go. Let's rock and roll. So this will be a fun one. I saw Mitch draw this dragon the other day, and I had to. I have a thing. I have a soft spot for dragons. So, when I used to draw as a kid, I would draw dragons pretty much over and over and over again. And I love this one because it's stylized. It's in Mitch flair to it, you know. And I was thinking I want to try a new technique where in 2020 they added the colorizer, I think, whatever it's called, the plugin where you can change the colors. Pixologic actually used my Kate model to demonstrate that color changer because she had such a stark white and orange outfit. You could easily change her colors. So with this dragon, I wanted to give it some really bright colors and then change it to like a purple dragon or a green dragon or a red dragon, just different things like that. So we'll see how it goes. All right. How likely do you think it is to work for a studio as a junior artist from home with a decent portfolio? So right now, most professionals in this industry are working from home. So it just depends on the company and if they need more help. And right now they're forced to having people work from home. So I would say your chances are good depending on how good your portfolio is. So, all right. Neil, oh, you're expecting one of his heads. So, hey, Ika. Yep. So, yeah. So he drew those heads. Well, he drew a handful of heads after we had talked. I was talking to Mitch about this, and he also drew. I didn't mean for him to. I was asking if he could draw, or not draw it, but move the camera and take a better picture from it from the front, And he actually thought I meant to draw it from the front. So Mitch took the time and drew it from the front. And as you can see, he may or may not be watching Space Force back there. But anyway, he gave me this kind of little detailed breakdown, which is nice. I'm going to have this drawing off on my other monitor, and I will be kind of consulting that as we go. So super cool. Thank you, Mitch. By the way, I got to do a huge shout out to Mitch. He's been fantastic and a great collaborator. So if you want to check out more of Mitch's artwork, go check out @Mitch Leeuwe right there. Okay. All right, let's get rocking. Let's go make sure I can see the chat here. All right. So it's, you know, I start every character based off of the analysis of it. Sometimes I'll start off with the head, sometimes I'll start off with the chest. This guy has a really bulky bottom end. You know, the lower half of him is really large. So that's kind of the base of him. I'm going to start there and work my way up, and then, you know, give him a tail and that kind of stuff. So, all right. Yeah, this guy, I like how he's got the small wings. We talked about that. I might do a variant where he's got some big wings, but I like these wings because they're funny. He's not going to fly with those things, you know? So, yeah, it's good stuff. All right, so start out by blocking him out. And I think I'm just going to do 2 spheres for his body. And then continue up his neck. Yep, we all love Mitch. Hey, what's up, Matt? Let's try an appendage. And today, although you cannot hear it, I'm listening to deadmau5 on my headphones. So I always tell you guys what I'm listening to, so if you want to listen along for some reason, you know. I like deadmau5 because it's very like most of his songs don't have many words, and it's just kind of a constant cadence that helps you work. It's kind of nice. Sometimes it can get a little repeaty, but you know, as all techno songs do, or you know, digital dance music. Hey, what's up, Charlie? Oh, nice. You liked my English? Okay. So I have this character that I modeled for my students. I did a student-only live stream for a while, just to add value to my online course. And I modeled a character that was designed by my good friend Todd. I was going to say Todd Sheridan. Todd Sheridan is my other friend, but Todd Harris. So Todd Harris is he did this really nice design of this knight. His name is Sirloin, and I'm like, hey, I should give him a dragon to fight, right? So hold on a second. I'll show you the character. I'll show you the, let's see, open image, new tab. So this is the concept for that character that I modeled for my students. And I took it all the way to in-game model, and we went over it. It was a lot of fun. And another streamer, Brendan Bankston, that streams on here, he helped me out with the substance designer part, or the painter part. That was really fun. Okay, so this part right here is his chest, and then it's going up into his neck, and I just need to kind of continue. And I'll probably merge this rather quickly because I kind of just want it one solid shape up to his head. In fact, I think I'm just going to go ahead and merge it. Let's get his head on there first. Do another appendage. Browsing online creative streams on Mixer and saw this. Hey, you're on Mixer. Hey, awesome. Keyflox. Well, welcome. There aren't many people that watch from Mixer. It's fairly new to Pixologic. So this is Pixologic, the maker of ZBrush. This is their live stream. I'm a volunteer on here demonstrating the software. I've been doing it for a few years now. Do you guys texture your characters with Painter? Yeah. Not all the time. A lot of times I just use Polypaint inside of ZBrush. So, yeah. I need to check Mixer out. I've never checked it out, to be honest. Did you create Baymax? Are you talking about for Disney Infinity? I did not. I'm trying to remember who. I believe that was Chris Wright did Baymax. Do you think that home 3D resin printing, it's close to the big studio's quality? Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. I have a Form 2 sitting right here. And the quality of that is just as good as the printer that we used at Disney Interactive. So it's, yeah, they've come a long ways. Hey Warren, how's it going? Okay, I'm gonna split this off. Then I want to stitch these together right away. Remesh by union. Accept, turn symmetry back on, and then I'm gonna Z-remesh this guy really low. Maybe 1,000. Yeah, you guys checking out Mixer? Much better quality than what? Than YouTube? Oh, for sure. All right, this isn't looking phallic at all, is it? Better fix that. I don't know what's going on. Okay, let's get some arms and legs on there before this gets R-rated. That's getting worse. All right. Hey, Christoph, how's it going? David. Hey, David, I need to talk to you about the plugin thing. I have one more request. I don't know if you saw it. Okay. Hey, Bridge Those Edges. That's a nice name. Okay, so I'm gonna try and bend this leg back, see if I can. Mitch has kind of squashed his leg down, or his foot down underneath his leg, so it's hard to tell. I'm gonna have to make that bit up just a bit. You were sick all week? Oh, that sucks to hear. Sorry about that. No worries, no rush, honestly. I'll hide this. Okay, I'm just going to kind of bend these around. Yeah, I have a saved Mitch saved folder myself. His style and my style, I feel like, are very similar in our tastes. Scary. Yeah, it'd be fun. It'd be fun. You know, I think I might take this guy all the way to retopologized mesh so he can be rigged and animated. Be a lot of fun. We'll see. We'll see how ambitious I get with that. Noob City. Yeah, you're welcome. No worries at all. Give him a bigger belly. Oh, my watch is telling me to stand up. You've been sitting too long. Get off your butt. Natalia, is there a way to combine two different subtools? So yeah, you can merge subtools together. So by going, it's right down here, merge. You can merge down, so you merge one subtool to another. That will not stitch them together, that will just merge them together. Yeah, CyberChris, I would love to do that, honestly. It may sound like a lame question, but I just started learning sculpting in ZBrush, and it's a doubt that I should start modeling a character first in a 3D program, or should I just start making it in ZBrush? It depends. Honestly, if you're wanting to learn ZBrush, just model it in ZBrush, because it's just more freeing inside of here. If you're trying to do the old school box modeling way in Maya or 3D Studio Max or something, just because that's what you're familiar with, that's okay too. But my suggestion is to just kind of do as I'm doing and block it out inside of ZBrush. And that's how you get better quicker, I guess, if you're wanting to learn ZBrush. Just want to shrink this. Are you a specialist in 3D sculpting? Anything else you specialize in? Like what are you, anything else? I was an animator for 5 years. Well, I'm still an animator, but professionally, my title was animator for 5 years, and but I've been working in the industry for 22 years, so since 1998. I'm older than I look, is what people tell me. Well, I look younger than I am, I guess. But and I've done rigging before in my career, but for the most part, I've just been a 3D sculptor, 3D modeler. I worked at Disney Interactive for 10 years. Worked on Disney Infinity. Worked for Sony. I worked on Warhawk. I worked for a place called Glyphics on Advent Rising. Just gonna squish his leg up and shorten it a little bit. Super specialist. I'm glad you guys are watching over on Mixer. That makes me happy. Welcome to the stream, you guys, gals, whichever. And if you guys ever want to watch my past streams, you can always look up ZBrush Live over on Google. And then it will take you to, I'll show you. If you click on this very first one that comes up, ZBrush Live, you will see all the other streamers on this channel. Come on, if it will go there. Why is my internet being so dang slow? So you can watch the live streams here. This is us right now. And you can go to the calendar or presenters. If you click on presenters, this first one is me right here. You can click on past broadcast and schedule. But you can always also see all of the other streamers that stream on here. There's quite a few of them, and they all specialize in different things. And if you go to past broadcast and schedule, you can see some of my work, and these are a bunch of my older streams that you can watch back. I think, geez, what is this? I don't even know what episode this is. Anyway, yeah, you can watch past streams back right there, and on YouTube, you can look them up there. So, yep, Warhawk. So that's crazy. Somebody was asking, I'm 25, can I do this? Absolutely. Or 20, yeah. I mean, everybody has to start somewhere. Just start. That's how you get better, is you start and then you practice. So do it. Do it. Yeah, I did that Baby Yoda a couple streams ago. Okay. Just kind of want to make this tail flow out. Let's get that in there. Now, if you here's a little trick that some people think it's a bug, but it's not. If you drag out like this on an insert multi-mesh brush, and then you push back in, it will scale it on 2 axes. So it will not scale it down the Z axis, but it will scale it down X and Y if you push it back in. So if you don't want that, then you need to let go at the very end of your insert multi-mesh, okay? Let's see. Neil, could you make a note of that tip? 22 minutes in. 22 minutes in. Please. So for this tail, I don't have to scale it out, right? And then I'm just using the inflate brush and adjusting it. Used to mess around with Lightwave. Ah, yeah. Thanks, Neil. You're the best. Okay, so what I'm trying to do with this tail is just kind of work on that. I just want to get the flow coming out of here, but I don't want to bend it all crazy like this. I will pose it later. I think I might just bend it straight down, actually. So I can rig it maybe like that. Yeah, I'll do that. I know this is looking totally strange right now, but it'll look better as we go, hopefully. So there's several ways to do it with a tail or wings or whatever. A lot of them are either straight down, like a 90-degree angle straight down, or 90 degrees straight out the back, depending on the animal and the tail and the way the animal's oriented. This is kind of a 45-degree. You can also do it like this. This is a little more difficult to do, but it's not impossible to rig this. Okay. I'm driving you insane. Why am I driving you insane? Okay. Whoop. Oh. Are they driving you crazy, Neil? I think I'm going to stitch the tail onto the body right now. So, oops. But in order to do that, you can see the legs and the tail are in the same poly group. If you need to switch them, you just hit auto groups, and it puts everything in its own poly group except for it's not symmetrical. So you just need to do a mirror and weld, and that'll do it. Just wanted to make a rhyme. I like it. Okay, let's split hidden. We don't want to delete hidden. Split unmasked. Partially masked. Stop. Oh. Split hidden, not... Yeah, sometimes I need to do better. Yeah, David, it's an arm and hand challenge. It's a baking soda challenge. Arm and hammer. No, arm and hand. So it's there's one of my favorite artists, one of my favorite 2D artists. His name is he goes by Scruffy Shenanigans, and he allowed us to do, he drew a whole bunch of hands and arms as just a practice, and I loved them. They're so pushed. They're amazing. So I'm having my students do that challenge right now. Yeah, the big nipples guy. I would love to be known as the big nipples guy. No, I wouldn't. Oh goodness. Oops, I need to inflate this. Yes, you're right. Oh, too far. Okay, let's connect this. Well, thanks, Think. Appreciate it. I'm very, very close to launching the 3D Character Workshop 1.5 is what I'm calling it. It's a new theme, new interface, and a whole bunch of new lessons. Okay, let's see. Let's stitch this up. And boom. Let's go. That's too low. Z-remesh this at a 2. There we go. Hello from Austria. Hello. Oh, you're not too far behind. Don't worry about it too much. All right, I gotta fast forward the song that I'm listening to. It's too repeaty. Right. Let's see. Fix with the actual version. What are you saying, Christoph? I had excellent. Oh, I saw that, Tim. That's awesome. Super cool. I'm glad you're in there. Okay. Let's put his feet on there. Oh, come back. So yeah, so 1.5, it's a redesign of the site as far as the theme goes. And I've added about, I think, 7 or 8 new lessons covering various different things, like Sculptors Pro, live booleans, a new way to do eyes. Yeah, there's a whole bunch in there that's coming. I'm excited to get those out soon. It looks like a duck, like a armless duck or something. Shaswata, hey, how are you? Good to see you. All right. When you made the hind legs, did you use 2 primitives? I just did 1 appendage and bent it with a mask. And how you doing, Harry? It's been a while. Okay, so let's reset this. So that's another thing. If you ever, I say this once in a while because it's a gotcha. I like to call these gotchas. Like what a gotcha is to me is whenever something goes like, what is this and how do I fix it? So if your gizmo, whoops, let's turn it. If your gizmo is turned off of straight like this, and you can't see it, you're just in draw mode. And if you go to draw and insert multi-mesh and you click and drag it out, and then you hold down shift, you want it to snap to the world, but it's not. It's snapping to the last known location of that gizmo. So that's another tip for you. So if you want it to snap to the world, you need to show your gizmo, reset it by holding down Alt and clicking on this circle. And you don't have to send it home. You just have to hit this reset orientation, then hide it again. Now when I draw out an appendage and hold down Shift, it's going to snap it to the world. Yes, Shaswata, version 1.5 will be an upgrade to the existing course for the present students and for, present and future students for no additional cost, I might add. So just like ZBrush, updates are free. I really like that model myself, so I decided to steal it, use it. Oh yeah, Prasan, thanks for asking me again. While importing high poly mesh into Maya, it will take more time to import. Is there any solution for that? Yeah, so Maya will only handle so many polys. So the better thing to do is just go through and optimize your model by splitting your model into different subtools and making sure that you don't have millions of polys. And a way you can do that is by, it's a little too deep to go into right now, but usually what I'll do is I will duplicate it off, duplicate a subtool. Say you have a Dynamesh mesh or a Sculptress Pro mesh that's like 3 million and you want to get it down to like 1 million or less. Basically, you can duplicate it, a subtool. You can Z-remesh that subtool, subdivide it like a few times up to 1 million, and then reproject the details from the old to the new, and then it will have fewer polygons. So, let's see. What is this version 3.5? Chandra, I'm talking about my online course, the 3D Character Workshop, which is, where is my logo? It's not up here. Anyway, I lost my logo. I need to import it and stick it back above my head. But thank you, Neil. Will there be additions of Blender-based chapters? Yes, in association with ZBrush. I'm working with Scott, which is another one of my team members. Scott has been really learning how to do rendering inside of ZBrush. And it uses GoB, which is a kind of an unofficial GoZ for Blender. And it allows you to push your ZBrush models into Blender and render them out. And it's super nice. So. Okay. Let's see if that, I'm trying to decide if I like how long that foot is. I think it's still a bit too long. Turn on local symmetry. And I want to skinny these up a little bit. Then you can use Clip Curve Brush to snip this down so the foot is flat. Now, this foot is kind of representing the toes and everything, so I don't want it to represent the toes. I only want it to represent the foot itself. I'm going to squish this down. Hey, from Egypt. I don't get many viewers from Egypt that I know of. A few though. Thanks for joining the stream. This one's tricky because it's so tight right there. If there's enough requests for it, I can do one on Retopo. I'd probably be using an add-on though, not the default. Default's fine, but there's add-ons that make it so much better. There's one called Speed Retopo that I really like. Okay. Okay, let's get some toes in there. From Iran, closest ally of the USA. Hello and welcome to the stream. Okay, sorry, I gotta change this music again. It's kind of hit and miss. The dead mouse. Okay. Let's align this thing. Has someone seen the movie that Ashley was working on? Oh yeah, yeah, it's great. Is it Next Gen? So Ashley is another sculptor on here, another streamer, live streamer. She streams on, I believe it's Thursdays. Correct me if I'm wrong, please. She does a lot of just kind of fun concepting on her live stream, but she's also a fantastic stylized sculptor. And she worked on the characters for Next Gen. Wednesday, thank you. Hey, Bay, what's up? Dragon toes. Sounds like a nickname. Dragon toes. From Brazil? Can you create a topology entirely for animation production inside of ZBrush? It is technically possible. Yeah, with a bit of persistency, you totally could. But at the end of the day, ZBrush is a digital sculpting program, and that's what it's best at. So it's really good to use ZBrush in conjunction with other things to get the characters that you want to use in production. How have you been, Bay? Which one is more good? Using Dynamesh or subdivisions? They each have their own purpose. So it's not like one is better than the other. Subdivision levels, you don't really want to have subdivision levels until the very end of your sculpt, because once you have subdivision levels, it kind of locks you out of a lot of tools that you can use with ZBrush. Dynamesh is really, really good with concepting, moving stuff around, using a lot of the tools, like clipping and just merging and things like that. And it's kind of the same as Sculptris Pro. Sculptris Pro is in line with Dynamesh as far as that is concerned. You can use a lot of the tools with that, but As soon as you add subdivision levels, like I said, it locks you out of a lot of tools. So I would keep it, keep that until the very end. But typically at the end of the character creation process, all of my subtools end up being subdivided surfaces. Because that's just, it just makes them cleaner. Dragon toes. I want to make this middle one a lot bigger though. Here we go, turn on topological. Topological will make it so whatever brush you're on, if you turn that on, it won't affect the other objects in your scene. Yeah, Egypt isn't known for it's not really a 3D hotspot, right? But hey, you're here, right? Cuban living in Chile. Well, thank you very much. Okay. Yeah, so it only affects one thing. And that thing is, it will work on any of these brushes. So you can turn topological on any of these, including smooth. Now, if you want to use it on smooth, so you're only going to smooth down one piece, first you have to hold down shift, and you'll notice topological going away. When you're holding down shift, you're in the smooth state of that brush, and you can just turn topological on your smooth brush. But just don't forget that you have it on, because it will affect some things when you do have it on. So yeah, just pay attention to that. Also, topological will work across the same object. Like if you're modifying lips, for example, your upper lip and your lower lip is part of the same object, typically, right? So if you don't want to affect the upper lip when you're working on the lower one, you can either mask it off, but sometimes the mouth is closed, so it's difficult to mask off. So it's easier to turn topological on, but then you can turn the range down to like 3. The range it's kind of like a spotlight fall off distance, and that's the range that brush will affect what's around it. So you can turn that range down. Hey, what's up, Daniel? Do I know anybody who uses Blender for the rendering tools? I do. Yep. And Daniel, I have a plan for a new lesson in the workshop. I know you're a student in there. So it's so much more technical than you thought it would be. Oh yeah. Yep, and it just gets, and every single tool is a it's just a different way of doing things. So the more you learn, the more tools you'll have at your disposal. And that's the thing about ZBrush. And I always joke with Kyle about this, is so Kyle he works for Pixologic, and he's also a fan of Avatar: The Last Airbender. And if you guys are familiar with Avatar: The Last Airbender, there's a city called Ba Sing Se. And Ba Sing Se is an earthbender city that's out in the middle of the desert, and it has these gigantic walls. It's a circular city, and inside it's all lush and green, and it's kind of an oasis, right? And I always compare ZBrush to Ba Sing Se, because when you first look at ZBrush and you look at the interface, everybody complains that the interface is crazy and it's really hard to learn and all that kind of stuff, which it can be intimidating and it can be hard to learn. But as soon as you learn how to get over that wall, then you'll kind of realize that anything is possible. You'll find your oasis. You'll find your Ba Sing Se, right? So it's getting over that wall. It's getting over that hump. It's learning ZBrush, just getting in there. But yeah, once you realize how powerful ZBrush is, you can literally model anything in here, anything. So yeah, it's super cool. Okay. Okay. Thanks, Nelson. Oh, is somebody asking where it's at? Thanks, Problems. So yeah, it's under the brush menu, which is up here. And then you go down to auto masking right here. And it is this big fat button right here, topological. So I pulled it out onto my interface. If you want to use this interface, by the way, I give it away for free on my website, 3dcharacterworkshop.com, as well as all these brushes that you see across the bottom here. So if you're interested in that, you can grab them. That's what people are talking about. Shrink this down. How can we Z-remesh only selected areas? Like if we want more polys around the mouth and eyes. It doesn't really work that way. I wish it did, but it's more like it's kind of an all or nothing type deal. You can't really just say Z-remesh this area. Okay, let's... This duck head's got to go, I know. The duck dragon, like on Adventure from the old Atari. That's what I'm making. I'm making that dragon from the old Atari. Realized. Thanks, guys. You made my day. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And I've just recently had the 3D Character Workshop 3-year anniversary. Can you believe it? 3 years. So Neil Whitehall. Is it not pushing it over to Neil, is it not pushing your messages over to YouTube right now? Is Restream Messenger not working? That's weird. If you look above my head, you'll see the messages from the other streams. I'm streaming to 4 different places right now: Mixer, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. So you can see the little icons above my head over here. And Neil is like, he's a real person, but he's kind of like my streaming bot, which I completely appreciate. Huge shout out to Neil. So thank you, Neil. And he's a student of mine as well, but he keeps posting links on here that you can follow. YouTube is kind of different, where it's not really allowed to post links over there. So if you want to watch somewhere else, you may, like over on Twitch. Go Neil. Okay. You know what? I'm hiding his head for a minute. It's bugging me. Yep. Nail. All right. His body is looking a bit on the wide side. Not the wild side, the wide side. I'm going to tuck his feet in. Hey, Prasan, I answered that question already. You can't really do it. It's either all or nothing. So apologize you missed the first one, but yeah, you can't really do that. I mean, it's not very. Yeah, it doesn't work that way. I wish it did. Comics Legend. Oh, think about it. How's this? I haven't raised the price yet. I've been thinking very, very seriously about raising the price. because of all the addition. I mean, it's probably doubled in content since I first launched it 3 years ago. And I have not increased the price. Why don't you use Z-spheres? Because they're not, I don't have as much control over them as I do with primitives. Hey Marcelo, how you doing? Hey Hopper, you got to take off? Awesome. Well, thanks for hanging out. And I love your new character, by the way. I don't know if you're still here, but I'll make sure that you know that I love it. You did a fantastic character. And a great render of it, too. Oh, thanks, Jeswada. Very much. Wow. Let's see. So I gotta give a shout out to Hopper Sean on the stream. So this is my student forum. That's very, very new, and it actually just went out last weekend. And this is Hopper Sean's character from the course. So awesome work, Sean. He's looking great. Yep, very cool. Okay. Let's do some fingers. Charles from Ghana. I'm following your tutorial. You sculpted seagull. I took a break to come to YouTube. Oh, fun. Let's go smaller. These are funky fingers. I love them. All right, Neil, I'm going to talk about another tip here. I don't know if you can snag it or not. So with this finger, I want to show you how to bend it using the transpose tool rather than the gizmo. So with the gizmo, what you can do is you can switch back to the old transpose tool by clicking on this button, this gizmo 3D up here, and turning it off, and you'll see the transpose line show up. And you can click on this Z axis to aim it down the axis in which you drew the insert multi-mesh. Okay, so basically you have to be on move. This does not work with scale or rotate, so push W, okay? And then make sure your transpose line is drawn past the insert multi-mesh that you want to bend, okay? Because this works like a bell curve. It kind of, it comes in this end and swings up and then goes out straight the other end. It does not go out curved the other end. So it's best to pull it beyond the point. Then what you do is there's a little white circle in the middle of this center one. You hold down Alt and then move it, and you can bend it like this, which is super cool. So I still use that little technique of the transpose tool. I'm just kind of bending this finger. And then I can go back to the gizmo when I'm done with a bent finger. Yeah, there you go, Chris. So I guess Neil, mark 50 minutes on that one. I've been putting these little tips up on like little Instagram videos and stuff. If you're wondering why I'm asking Neil to mark those down. Yeah, Tim, you can use the bend deformer as well, not a problem, but yeah, it's just quicker, easier. But the bend deformer will give you way more control. It's just a little more, it's a little slower. Can I use a skeleton instead of Z-spheres for rigging? In another program you can, but not inside of ZBrush. Okay. Those are fun fingers. But I want to I should have edited the first one before I deleted it, but I want to make the finger pad a little more bulbous. Something like that. Hey Peters, how's it going? Hey Carlos, how are you, man? Thanks, me too. Thanks, Rob. I also got to give a shout out to Rob. He has been posting my social media links for me out on social media lately. Oh, Paul Gabry went over how to do a Z-sphere rig for posing on his Gremlin series. Awesome. So Paul Gabry works for Pixologic, and he's been streaming live on here quite a bit recently, and he's been working on his Gremlin project. And if you want to find that, you can search for Paul Gabry /Pixologic, and you'll see his Gremlin series on YouTube. Okay, I'm trying to decide if I want to give this guy thumbs or just make him like a three-fingered whatever. Lucas, yeah, that's a really good tip, and I'll probably use ZBrush or Sculptris Pro later on here. Okay, digging that. Let's do his neck now. Now with his neck, I think I've changed my mind. I'm not going to stick it on the top like a duck, like my hand right now. I'm going to move it more so it's like straightened out a little bit more like this, not like this. Just to kind of align his neck a little better. That's better. That's better. All right, what are we at? An hour? Not bad. All right. I was wondering if this guy was going to take me longer to block out or not. He's a little bit more complex than I'm used to. Trying to make him a little bit more bottom heavy. Okay. Where does arms go? They'll be on the right subtool. There they are. All right. Thanks, Nightbot. Junk in the dragon trunk. I make a good t-shirt, right? Dragon with a big rump. Okay. Let's work on his head a bit. So this is the clip curve brush that I'm using now to just kind of, it should be called the squash curve brush. Because it basically takes all the geometry that's on the faded side of it and squash it up to the line. So like this, everything underneath that dotted line that's facing the faded side of that line, if I let it go, it's going to take it all and just jam it up in there. All right. And the reason I did that is because I'm going to give him a lower jaw. Yep. Okay, Flux, I use it all the time. So how is Mixer? You're still with us, thank you. I just wondered how the experience has been watching it over on Mixer. So the clip curve brush also respects masking. So I can see how the top is masked and the bottom's not. I can do the same thing, but this time I want to draw from left to right. So the faded line is at the top, right? So you can use Shift to snap it. See how it's snapping? And then you can use Spacebar to move it around. So you just kind of line it up and let go, and it will just smash it down like that. Speaking of Gizmo, there is a way to kind of do something similar with the Gizmo tool. See, if you hover over Scale X, see how it says hold down Control to clip? You can hold down Control and drag it either way, and it essentially clips. Okay, which is cool, except for if I want to clip like just a portion of it, then I prefer using the clip curve. So then I can do that. Otherwise it clips the entire thing, and you know, you can mask it, I guess, but yeah, pretty cool. Okay. Okay. Yeah. It is. Well, because I kind of know that I want some tips. Yep. Nom nom. Okay, I'm gonna kick the end of the nose up just so, because I'm gonna Z remesh it here in a second. Okay, I'm gonna Z remesh it. But I'm not going to merge these two together. I want to keep them separate. I'm going to pull his mouth clear up here before I do. Okay. I'm not going to repeat that one. Oh, but it made me laugh. Thank you. Okay. Okay, let's see what happens. I'm going to duplicate this off just in case I want to go back and hide the original. And then let's do 2000. So this 2 on Z Remesher stands for 1000. So it's going to basically rebuild these two objects. And that's, I feel like it's too high. Let's try 1,000 instead of 2. That's better. But I got rid of my groups. So I'm going to say keep groups. There we go. All right. So Nelson, in what situation do you use Dynamesh today? Because I see that you hardly ever use it. So when I use Dynamesh now is if I want to have a watertight mesh for 3D printing, because it will get rid of all the interior geometry when you Dynamesh, which is fantastic, and it's really good for almost the next to final step of 3D printing, just to get everything ready. And what I'll usually do is just duplicate off the entire model. And if you do merge visible, it will actually create a whole new tool with all of your subtools merged. And then you can run Dynamesh on that, and it will get rid of all the interior geometry, which is super nice. And then you use Decimation Master to reduce the polygon count to something that your printer can handle. It will triangulate the entire thing. So. But yeah, I've kind of moved away from Dynamesh and moved towards Sculptris Pro because it's so much more flexible. Yeah. So occurs with 2020.2 ZRemesher error and abort ZRemesher after use Decimation or Dynamesh. I'm not sure. That would be one for, I think, the Pixologic support team. If you just want to reach out to support@pixologic.com, they can help you out. Send screenshots or, record exactly what you're doing if you can, like a small video, and send it to them and they can help you out. Because I would need to see it and I don't have time during the stream to help you. Sorry. Hey, what's up, Lucky? How you doing? Oh, just sculpting a dragon. Typical. Okay. I like his little lip thing coming out. Yep, this is live. Coming to you live. Welcome to the stream. Just gonna thin out his jaw down here. Straighten out his jaw. Hey, Night Song, how you doing? Okay, I kind of want his snout to be narrow in here. And then get large in the back. Or like a Western dragon, I guess. Let's see. I'm just kind of working on the flow of everything. All right, now I want to get just a little bit more volume up on top so his eyes can stick in there. Hey Chris, thanks. This concept is from Mitch Leeuwe. So if you want to go check out more of Mitch's work, you can go to Instagram at Mitch Leeuwe. You can find him over there. Does some great stuff. So what kind of tech setup do you have over there, Shane, just for the ZBrush work? So this is a Cintiq. You do not need a Cintiq to work with ZBrush. Just any tablet whatsoever. Just don't use a mouse. So like Intuos, Bamboo, any of those, yeah, it will by Wacom. You don't need to go out and buy a Cintiq, especially just starting out, you know. And then then my machine, when you're just going to be working with ZBrush and not really anything else, if you're just going to be focusing on ZBrush, ZBrush is very CPU heavy and very thread based. So find a CPU with as many threads as you can afford, and that's where you want to be. RAM matters less, and GPU matters less. Since it's not a rendering program, you don't need that stuff. It's just CPU based. So yeah, that's what I would do. Okay. But my machine is a AMD 1700 with, I think it's like 8 threads, but they're multi-threaded or something like that. You never heard that term before? Look up multi-thread CPU and you'll find it. And I think under preferences you can set how many threads ZBrush is using or something like that. I can't remember where it's at, but you can really tune the performance there. So if you want more polygons, which if you're doing stylized characters, you don't really need millions and millions of polys. So you don't need a gigantic machine to use ZBrush. I use it on my little Surface. I have a Microsoft Surface, and when I'm on the road, I use my Surface for ZBrush. It just restricts you to how many polygons you can use or when it will slow down. So yeah, Tim, the GPU. So for rendering, I have double 1080s, like GeForce 1080s for rendering, and they work great. They work great in Blender. And I can turn the Blender rendering over to use GPUs, which is nice. So yeah, it's worked out pretty good. Where can we contact you? Because I would like to invite you during one of my free live streams for my students. So if you want to reach out, you can reach out to shane.olson@3dcharacterworkshop.com. And you know, I try and answer all of my emails. I get a ton of them, so sometimes it takes me a while to get to you, but I try. Yeah, I had to get my machine before those giant AMD processors came out. I would like to get a machine with one of those thread rippers, but right now what I have is working great. Although when I first got this machine, the motherboard had a problem and it kept blue screening. So I had to finally figure it out. What happened was I had to this is really dumb technical, but I had to reflash my BIOS when they came out with a new one, and that fixed it all. So yeah, fingers crossed. I usually do my retopo not in ZBrush. I've used several different programs, including Maya. When I'm making objects, though, I will retopologize in ZBrush. I wouldn't call it retopologize. I would call it create topology. Okay. Yeah, I think that's where I usually do my retopo. Okay. Let's get this. That's awesome, Rob. Wow, that's awesome. Rob just reported 133 people watching on Twitch. That's crazy. Thanks, everybody. 271 total across all platforms, which is awesome. If that's true. There, Dragon Hat. Hey, what's up, Ian? What do I think about ZBrush's render? It's okay. I really like the filters. like the cartoon filters that you can turn on. The cartoon renderer stuff is really fun to play with. But ZBrush can be tricky because it doesn't have your typical lighting arrangements. So the lights are under right here. You kind of have to adjust the lights on this sphere rather than adjusting lights in the scene, which makes it it can get challenging to render, but you can totally do it. It's just I prefer, just me personally, I prefer taking my ZBrush models elsewhere to like Keyshot, using the Keyshot bridge or something like that. Lucky. Very funny. This is looking more like a hat than the top of his head. Maple Cliff, I just went over it, like just barely. Somebody asked what I was using, so in order to not repeat myself, you can watch it back on YouTube and that's awesome. Yep. Okay. I need to get my streams on the student calendar so you guys know when I'm streaming live. This guy's kind of looking like a duck. Yeah, sorry, Maple Cliff. Okay, I need to get some eyes in here. He's looking like a little, I don't know. I don't know what he's looking like. Some old man with a hat, like the hat I typically wear. I have my Yellowstone hat on today. These eyes may be too big, but we'll see. Yeah, that's true. Or an albatross. Looks like an albatross dragon. That's a thing, right? I think I might have to... I tend to not squish my characters' eyes down. I like to keep them spherical as much as I can. But sometimes, just sometimes, I have to squash them. And I think with this guy, I'm going to have to squash it. Or let me just try and scale it down first and see what I can get away with. That might be okay. Okay, and with eyes, I will typically put them in their own subtool. Speaking of sculpture presentation, do you think Blender render can do as well as Keyshot? It can. It can. I mean, they've rendered entire films with it, like next gen. But just so you guys know, though, I have to say this just as a service announcement. This is the Pixologic live stream, so I like to keep chat to ZBrush instead of on other programs. So if I don't sit and talk about other programs, that's why. Because I'm here as a guest. And this will look a lot better when I get his horns put in here. Amy, how you doing? Yep, he's getting a little Shano hat for sure. Now I need to combine all these things. All right, let's get this inflated up here. This is turning out to be rather tricky around this area. It's square in the Valley of the Suck right now. Okay. Dafu, I'm actually thinking about it. I'm thinking about it pretty heavily. But I'm also thinking about, what am I thinking about? I'm thinking about possibly doing a Patreon-ish style something or other in the future. Membership thing, whatever you want to call it. We'll see. It's true, Tim. And what I mean by membership thing is just like going through entire characters from start to finish and going all the way through to game character. But I would do a very low cost membership just to kind of recoup some of the cost from it in my, my time and that kind of stuff. Okay. So I probably wouldn't incorporate that into the course. I would make that a separate thing. And the course has sirloin, so it's essentially the same thing. But for people who can't afford the course and want to watch me create an entire character, I think that's a decent alternative. Maybe. What do you guys think? I've talked about it before. I just haven't done it yet. I'm trying to get the 1.5 workshop out. Okay, let's get some horns on there. It's driving me crazy. So for these horns, people ask me about, what is it? What do they ask me about? They ask me about Z-spheres all the time. Why don't you use Z-spheres? What do you use Z-spheres? And this is something that I use Z-spheres for, is to make horns and tails. I didn't use it on this tail because I wasn't going all over the place. I was just making a straight tail. So, yeah, Randy, well, my course is an all-in-one. You wouldn't need to sign up for the membership if you were a student of the course, unless you wanted more. It's more of the same. It's like, well, this is how I'll do this character, and this is how I do this character. But it's all the same procedures and techniques, just used in slightly different ways. Okay. Yeah, the Patreon idea. That's what I was talking about. I have a lot of people that they're from different countries and that kind of thing that they can't really afford the cost of the course. So I kind of wanted to offer a lower cost something for people. Yeah, I'll get there. So what I do is I block everything in, and then I fine tune it, and then I make it look more like the drawing, if that makes sense. So right now I'm just kind of trying to get everything in there, and then I'll start to turn the dials to tweak it in. Okay, so Z-spheres. Let's do a Z-sphere. And how you do that is essentially append a Z-sphere, boom, like this, and it's going to stick it in the middle of the world. And this is the base sphere. So what I want to do with that is scale it down. We can turn on transparent so we can see it, but scale it down and move it up here. And then move it to one side. I'm only going to build one half right now. Thanks. I at least want to try it just to see the reaction to it, see if people like it. So with this, what I can do is if I have something that's tapering along from start to finish, like this horn, what I'll usually do is I'll haul it out to the end where it's tapering the most and then shrink it like this. So yes, it's one straight horn, and that's not what I want. But now I have my taper. Rather than trying to taper as I go, this will give me a nice smooth taper instead. And now with draw, which is Q, you can just click on any of these internal spheres. See all these internal spheres? I can just click on any of them and make a new sphere like that. And then another one like that, and then another one like that. See how they keep the taper that I made? Now from the front, I can start adjusting. Now if I click between two spheres, it does something like this. It kind of acts like an IK rig in a way. Hey, Cartoon Sculpts, how's it going? And then from the side, just kind of just bend it a little bit. Okay. See how fast it was to make that horn? It's like bibbity boop. Done. Okay. So I can preview this horn by pushing A on the keyboard. Now it's giving me a Dynamesh preview, which is not necessarily what I want. So I want to go down to adaptive skin and change it to density 1. And you can see this Dynamesh resolution. See how it says 256? I'm going to roll that down to 0, and then it won't Dynamesh it. It'll just make a low resolution mesh instead. And if I did a density 2 on it, you can see it'll add more density like this. Okay, so now that I have this horn and I want to make it real, I basically click on Make Adaptive Skin. And what it's going to do is it's going to make a brand new tool. You have to find it up here in your tool section. See, it's up here. It's all by itself, all lonely. Okay. And so you want to append it to this, your original. Okay. So I'm going to click on append, and it'll show up in this list. Just click on it like that. Now I have our original Z sphere that we can always go back to and adjust if we want to. And now we have this new one right here. So I'm going to hide the original, and now we have this this horn, and now we want to mirror it. So I'm going to do mirror and weld, but make sure if you're going to do mirror and weld across like this, you have to turn local symmetry back off. Otherwise, I'll show you what it does. If you ever mirror and weld, oh, this has subdivision level. Hold on a second. See, before I told somebody, as soon as you add subdivision levels, it's going to lock you out of a bunch of things. This is one of those cases. I can't mirror this guy the traditional mirror and weld way without getting rid of the subdivision level. I can go into Z plugin and go into Subtool Master and hit mirror, and that will mirror it across and keep the subdivision levels. So that is an option, but I want to continue to work on this, so I don't want to keep the subdivision level. So I'm just going to delete upper and just keep it really low like this. Okay, and now what happens if I hit mirror and weld? See that? It mirrors across itself. That's local symmetry. So I want to turn that off. So let's turn it off over here. Then do a mirror and weld. Boom. It mirrors it across the world center. Okay? Okay, so now we can get in here and adjust this more. He's looking more like a dragon now that he has these horns. Less like a whatever pelican albatross guy. I can hit D to turn on dynamic subdivisions. Okay. Pakistan, hello. Welcome to the stream. Okay, I'm going to bend these horns outwards a little bit. Whoops. Turn on symmetry. Like that. There we go. Yeah, I'm liking that flow from the... Maybe they could stand up taller. Maybe a little bit bigger. Hey, Dan. Oh, Tim from 3D Character Workshop. Hello. Welcome to the stream. We've almost hit 300 people watching today. Thank you very much for joining me, by the way. I really appreciate it. For For 3D printing, is there a difference between using Boolean, remesh by union, or Dynamesh while modeling? Or can you use whichever you want? You can use whatever you want. Yep, any of those things will work. With all different results. It just depends on your goals, right? It's like, can I use a hammer? Can I use a sledgehammer? Can I use a ball peen hammer? They're all hammers. They're all tools. They're all going to do the job. But sometimes you need to use a screwdriver. But they'll all work. Okay. Hey, Toby. All right, I'm going to hide his lower jaw, if it will let me. There we go. Thiefin. Reminds me of that meme of that dog that's missing his lower jaw. Thiefin. Okay, I'm going to split hidden because I want the jaw in a separate subtool. Chainsaw for everything. Okay, I want to merge these two together and start using Sculptris Pro because I want to take the detail to the next level on this. And I want to stitch these together. So, yeah, Weechin. Have you guys seen that meme, Thiefin? It's pretty dang funny. Yeah. Man, it totally made me lose my concentration. I'm just thinking of that stupid, silly dog. Okay, let's merge these together. Remesh by union. Accept symmetry. And okay, so what that does is it stitches it together like this. And now I want to use Sculptris Pro on this guy. So I'm going to hold down Shift so this Sculptris Pro button becomes available. And turn it on. You'll kind of see what happens if I start to paint on the surface. But the Sculptris Pro is tied to my brush size, which I don't necessarily want. So I'm going to go into Stroke, into Sculptris Pro, and turn off Adaptive Size. And then I'm going to turn the subdivide size down a bit. And try that. Okay, that's too much. That's about right. Okay. Usually I'll get the subdivide size to be about where I want it, as far as I just kind of look at the triangles and think, okay, yeah, that's about right. And then I just kind of go over the whole thing, which is essentially increasing the subdivision or the density of it, right? Put the whole thing in one subtool. Sculpting with Thane Olson. I like to sculpt dragons. Horrible. It's horrible, Rob. Funny, but horrible. Okay. Let's see. I did good. Oh man. Okay, let's use this fill brush. Sometimes this will get off of symmetry, and that's okay. Just keep at it. I do want to increase the subdivide size a bit. Kind of work on his brow. His cheek. I want to make his snout larger on the end. Yeah, like a dragon wrestler. Hey Vinit, how you doing? Okay, let's see. I'm gonna try doing this with a mask. Why not? Let's do, not with the mask lasso though. Now, so if you use the move brush, if you'll notice, you click on move, Sculptress Pro is turned off. So you can move it and it works. But if you use the snake hook brush, you'll notice that the snake hook is on. So basically when you pull out geometry, it's going to add new geometry as you drag it out, which is a good thing if you're doing something like this. Nostrils. So see this unsubdivide ratio or undivide ratio? That works when you're smoothing. So if you hold down smooth, you can turn this, I think it's up. No, down. So turn it down. And when you smooth, it'll make smaller triangles. Yeah, something like that. Yep, another dragon. No, I made a dragon a long time ago that was quite detailed when I was first learning ZBrush. I made it for Anim Rigs. If you have ever heard of Anim Rigs. Anim Rigs is a company ran by my friend Kevin Freeman. And I wonder if it's still around. Let me look. It's been years and years and years. Is it gone? Nope, it's gone. I guess it's gone. So anyway, I did some characters for them, and it was part of their lineup. It was it was a really detailed dragon, but it didn't have arms. It was kind of a feral dragon, and it had wings for arms instead. Kind of like the dragon on Harry Potter a little bit. He's got marvelous designer. I want to ask you, know any good resources for clothing patterns other than Pinterest? I don't, but that'd be a good resource if you found it. Yeah, like a wyvern. That's probably a better description of it. Okay, I want to add a lot more volume to the back of his head. Not like that, though. Okay, I'm going to try something. This isn't... So wyverns have back legs and then arms, and wings, right? No arms, I think. Okay. I'm just going to move this entire head forward. That's better. Maybe even more. Animation Mentor? Yeah, sort of like that. That's not mine, but it's very similar to that. So it's funny that you bring that up. I modeled the, I don't say this much, but I modeled the orc for that, for Animation Mentor. And I rigged or retopologized that dragon. I can't remember who did that dragon. That one was not mine. It was very similar. Hello from Brazil. Okay, I almost have this guy blocked out. Let's give him a thicker neck. Does he? Is that true? Is that true? That's crazy. That's some trivia that I had no idea that was true. That's crazy. I know the one on Harry Potter is a wyvern. Where do you inspire your imagination? I need some recommendations to be real my ideas. Pinterest. Pinterest is my favorite, and ArtStation. So I will browse those two if I need some inspiration. So, like how Gollum got a big redesign between the first two Lord of the Rings films. I don't know if Bay Rate is still here, but Bay was watching this stream earlier. Bay Rate is the one who modeled the original Gollum in the original film, and he was just hanging out here. But so you never know who's going to be here. Pretty crazy. And Bay Rate, I have to say he's awesome. He has been making digital comics in VR. You should go check it out. Nanite Fulcrum. I'm gonna give him a shout out. I don't know if he's still here. Know of a page for challenges? I'm running my own challenge inside the 3D Character Workshop that just started this month. So if you're a student, you can do that one. There's also like ArtStation will run one, I think. Flip Normals. I don't know who's running one right now though. Polycount. Do they? Might have one. Okay, let me balance it out with some wings here. The ArtStation just started a challenge. There you go. Okay, I'm trying to decide. Let's see, I got 15 minutes. Okay, that's enough time. I'm trying to decide how I want to do these wings. I think I'm going to do Z-Remesh, or not Z-Remesh, Z-Sphere with them. Okay. What's cool with Sculptris Pro, once you block something out like this, it's pretty easy to run a Z-Remesher on it. Okay, let's get his eyebrows fixed here. He's so angry. Why are you so angry? Gonna make that puffed up area where the horns go in. I'm gonna switch to a different material so I can see what I'm doing here. The ZBrush materials are fantastic for that. It's like, hey, open it. No pickles for you, dragon. Write this down here. Then I think it'll make a big difference when I connect the head to the neck, kind of smooth all that out. Oh, from South Africa. Yeah, Med, thank you. How long does it normally take for you to finish the sculpt? It all depends on the difficulty of that character to sculpt. Yes, Rob. Sorry, Rob was just messaging me. Okay, yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna duplicate this head and ZRemesh it. Because it's still in the valley of the suck and I gotta figure it out. And it's easier when it's low resolution than when it's Sculptress Pro, so. Okay, let's see. Remesh this at a 2 maybe. There we go. Beautiful, beautiful. Jose, I have another question. When I have a reference image like you, some of my brushes stop working. Okay, so Jose, just turn off this button right here, Spotlight Projection. Okay, and you can find that under Brush Samples Spotlight Projection. That's why it's not working. Yay, 3D printer, cool. Okay, now I'm going to stitch the head and the neck together. Okay, so move this up here, merge it down, and stitch it. But I want to split these arms off first. I'm not ready to stitch these arms yet. Okay. Kangaroo Goon, yeah, for sure. It's looking like friggin' kangaroo something or other. Let's see. What am I doing? What am I doing? Australian dragon. Right, right. Okay, I want to insert one more loop in here so it has more edges to connect to. Okay. And then stitch it. Oh, nice, David. That's awesome. Okay, so now the head is stitched to the neck, and I want to now Z-remesh this whole thing again, but at a higher. Let's do 5. There we go. All right, now let's fix this head to neck ratio. let's fix this stinking neck. I turned spotlight projection back on talking about it. How am I planning to do the teeth? I'm probably just going to make them part of the mouth and just use the snake hook brush when I get enough geometry to do so, and just pull them out just one by one. What? Yeah. Okay. There we go. Yeah, right now I can like run the jaw. Rah, rah, rah. Ah. See his neck peeking through the back of his jaw. Let's push that in. Let's turn him back to thieving. Get rid of this mouth interior. His nose like it's like way neck forward. That's all right. Looks like he's gonna start hopping around. Ding, ding, ding. Oh man. Hey, what's up, Sean? Yeah, I'm trying my hardest to make this guy look better. Okay, let's give him some wings. Can you keep the groups together when you merge with ZBrush? Yeah, you could just turn on keep groups and it'll keep them. If you want to do it that way. Yeah, I like that better. I don't know why I'm using my mouse, but I am. That's looking better. Sometimes you just gotta noodle with stuff to see what the heck is wrong. Try different things. Yeah, I'm doing the wings next. We got how many minutes? Chris, that's funny. Get that hip bend in there. All right. Okay, let's make some wings. Wings. All right. I told you I was going to use ZRemesher, yeah? Let's do that. Or not ZRemesher, Z spheres, the other Z, whatever. Okay, so let's append a Z sphere, just like we did with the horns. All right, and then we'll go down. Where is it? There it is. And we want to scale it down. And then move it to where it connects with the body, about right behind his shoulders. Like that. And then put it to one side. Shrink it down even more. Okay. Now, let's make the wing structure. Just by drawing Z-spheres. After Z-spheres, we'll do one. And then drag it out to where, see this point right there? We'll put it about where that point is going to be. And maybe up a little more. Like that. Okay, and then we'll drag another one out. And move it. I'm using W to move. And then I'll move it out to where that point is. Make sure you're looking at it in 3D. I'll come out this way a little bit. Looking at them from the front. I just want to be able to see it from the front. Okay. Then, if you want to kind of put a bend in it, oh, let's make it taper first, like we did before. How long did it take you to complete the Zizu for ZBrush? A month, about a month. So that took me a while. A lot of just kind of listening to good music and getting lost in it. Okay, then I can draw another Z-sphere out. And you can use a smaller brush and then it won't grab the other Z-sphere. Okay. And do another one. It's okay if you accidentally draw it too big. Draw it out here, hit E for scale and scale it down. Let's look at it from the front. Okay. And then we can add more in the center of these two and just move them so they kind of bend a little bit. Is there a way for the Z-sphere to follow an axis? No. It's just not really. Okay, and now I want this thing to curve out like this. Maybe shrink that down a little bit. Actually, I want these to come out, not in. I think. Like a bat wing, you know how bat wings are kind of curved when they catch the wind? Like that. So if I want to preview this, I just hit A and it's going to be Dynamesh. See, that's not what I want right there. So we'll go to geometry and go to adaptive skin, turn Dynamesh resolution all the way to 0. And then we'll undo adaptive and turn it back on. You'll see it kind of makes a mess up in here because there's too many Z-spheres coming off of one. So let's turn the density to 1. Okay, I'm just gonna have to deal with this. I can put more Z-spheres and draw them off of those and it will cause less damage, but I'll just Sculptris Pro this out and Z-remesh it and it'll be fine. Okay, so I'm going to hit Make Adaptive Skin and it's going to make a new Z tool up here. So we'll go to my subtools, hit Append, and we'll append that new wing and hide the one that I used to build it with. Okay, so now we have this. Okay, and then I can actually just Z-remesh this. I can inflate this bit right here just to give it a little better chance of Z-remeshing it. Okay, let's see what it does. Let's Z-remesh, add a 1. Not the best. Well, you know what you can do too? You can Z-remesh it again. So you can Z-remesh it once and see how it does that. And then you can kind of just smooth it out a little bit. Give it a little better structure. Just gonna smooth these guys out a little bit. And then you can use move to move these around. And then even make that little point off of here. So it has a little bit of a point. Okay, and then Z-remesh it again. And it should give us a little better result. Yeah, not bad. Not too much of a difference. Okay, and I think that'll do it for now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to mirror it. Mirror and weld across there. Now he has wings. Oops. Whoop, let's go turn on symmetry, pull these out a little bit more. We can make them a little bit bigger. There we go. Okay, well, that is the end of today's stream. I almost have him fully blocked out. He's really close. Yeah, it is easy to fix if you just increase your ZRemesher number. You can increase it quite a bit and then reduce by half. By half, you can select half and it will reduce it. Yeah, you just got to be careful with it. Yeah, not too bad. I'm going to zoom in. We'll kind of look at if I'm getting... I really need to work these cheeks better and bring his eyes inwards, like to work like closer to each other. Put all the scales all the way down his back. That's missing. That's going to take a bit of time. And then just go reshape everything. Like his nostrils need to be further down his snout. He has a bigger smile that's almost up in his eyes. Just stuff like that. I need to really add some claws and things like that. So how will I make skin on the wings? I will do it first thing next episode. So you can watch. That's a cliffhanger. So come back and watch the next episode, and I'll show you how I put the skin on those wings. It's kind of a bit of a trick, but it's not that bad. I'll show you. All right, guys. Thank you, and enjoy the rest of your week. As always, I teach how to do this stuff online. I run a workshop called the 3D Character Workshop. You can get there by going to 3dcharacterworkshop.com, and all my interface, my brushes, you can download those for free over at the same address. And like I said, my brand new student forum is out and available. So if you join the course now, you'll get access to that. A lot of really cool things happening over there. And and thanks to Rob, shout out to Rob. Rob's been pushing out student work to social media lately. I've been wanting to do that for a long time, and we're finally able to do that. So if you follow me over on Facebook or Twitter or Instagram at 3D Character Workshop, you will see student work if you're interested. So, yep, thank you very much. Thanks for hanging out, and until next time, have a great week. All right, cheers, everybody. We'll see you.